Breaking news! What if I told you that the Cleveland Browns, with one of the most solid wide receiver classes in the recent draft, turned their backs on the one solution that could have altered the course of the 2025 season? What if I told you that they drafted not one, but two quarterbacks and two running backs, while wide receiver, arguably the position most in need, was crying out for attention? This isn't speculation. This is reality, and it's unfolding in real time as the Browns prepare to enter the season with one of the leanest and most unreliable receiving core in the entire league. I have a few more things to tell you, but before I continue, make sure to like this post. But only if you've been a Browns fan for 17 plus years. It's always great to see loyal fans of all generations interacting here. It means a lot to us. If you can, right, go Browns! My heart bleeds brown and orange. Let's get right to it. The Browns let Elijah Moore walk in free agency. That alone raised eyebrows. But what came next left fans and analysts scratching their heads. No rookie wide receivers were picked in a class loaded with talent. Instead, Cleveland signed Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, Jamari Thrash, and Deontay Johnson. On paper, that might seem manageable, but dig deeper and you'll find an alarming lack of reliable playmakers. Jeudy, the undisputed WR1, has proven he can play. But beyond that, Johnson has publicly admitted to quitting the team last year because of the cold. Thrash and Tillman are natural talents, sure, but neither has proven they can consistently deliver at the NFL level. And David Bell, a third-round pick who failed to live up to expectations and is now struggling just to make the roster. This wasn't just a miscalculation. It was a strategic failure. The Browns had numerous shots to draft a receiver. They didn't. Instead, they poured capital into positions where they already had depth, or worse, created confusion. The quarterback room is a microcosm of this dysfunction. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and rookies Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders are all battling for QB1. But while the room may be crowded, it's also uncertain, and uncertainty at quarterback is the kind of storm that can derail a season before it begins. Myles Garrett, fresh off a new 4-year, $160 million extension, made it clear who he believes should lead this team. It's Flacco. He's got the support of the locker room. He's been there, done that, going 4-1 last season and dragging Cleveland into the playoffs. But even with Garrett's vote of confidence and Flacco's proven performance, there's a feeling of walking a tightrope. If Flacco slips, if injuries hit, if the offense sputters, the Browns could quickly turn to Pickett or one of the rookies. That's a lot of pressure for a franchise that just gambled away one of its last clean shots at rebuilding its offense through the draft. And that draft? Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Cleveland traded down from the number 2 overall pick, passing on generational two-way talent Travis Hunter to take defensive lineman Mason Graham. Now, Graham might turn into a solid player, but the message was clear. The Browns were prioritizing defense and depth over fixing their glaring offensive weaknesses. That gamble could backfire in dramatic fashion. Behind the scenes, there's more intrigue. Reports suggest that Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback with the big-name lineage, actually requested the release of a fellow All-American player. Think about that. A rookie, already trying to shake the label of privilege, potentially influencing roster moves. It's just another layer of chaos in a locker room trying to find its identity. And then there's David Bell, once an All-American at Purdue, now clinging to his NFL future. In 3 seasons, Bell has just 41 receptions and 408 yards. Injuries have taken their toll, and the Browns are running out of patience. According to Tony Camino from Dawg Pound Daily, Bell's shot at sticking with the team may already be in its final chapter. Fans know this franchise has been through it all, from the infamous quarterback carousel to front office upheavals, to playoff droughts and heartbreak. And just when it looked like the Browns were finally finding some footing with a strong defensive core, they've created a fresh mess on offense. The irony? This could have been avoided. They had options. They had flexibility. But for reasons only the front office fully understands, they zigged when they should have zagged. And now, every missed catch, every stalled drive, every 3-and-out will feel heavier. We're watching the consequences play out before a single snap has been taken this season. There's still time to sign someone. Gabe Davis is still a free agent. Maybe a trade materializes. But if this roster remains intact, the Browns will be banking on a miracle from a position group that has no business being this thin in 2025. And while we're on the subject of the quarterback room, it's worth revisiting just how crowded and potentially combustible this group really is. Joe Flacco, at 39 years old, is the elder statesman. He's battle-tested, experienced, and most importantly, respected. Myles Garrett and other veterans have thrown their weight behind him, not because of nostalgia, but because he got the job done. In 2023, Flacco stepped in, went 4-1, threw for over 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, and led this team to the postseason. His only loss came in a lopsided playoff game, and even then, it was clear that the real issue wasn't Flacco, it was everything around him. Still, the Browns brought in Kenny Pickett, a former first-round pick, discarded by the Steelers after an underwhelming start to his career. Then came the rookies, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, neither of whom were supposed to land in Cleveland, especially not both. GM Andrew Berry admitted as much, saying it wasn't part of the original plan. But when Sanders slid to the 5th round, the Browns couldn't resist. Berry justified it by citing best player available and the need to add competition. But now the team faces the very real challenge of developing two young QBs with vastly different styles, all while trying to win now. And that brings us back to the larger problem, identity. What is this Browns team trying to be? Are they rebuilding? Are they contending? On defense, they're built to win today. Myles Garrett, the highest paid defensive player in the league, didn't just re-sign because he loves Cleveland. He wants to compete for a Super Bowl. He made that clear during his extension talks, even admitting he had trade demands until the team's vision aligned with his own. He's here to win, period. But offensively, it's a patchwork. There's no WR1 depth, no long-term QB solution, or running back room that suddenly added new bodies despite having other needs. This isn't a blueprint for a championship. It's more like a house held together by duct tape, and that's dangerous when your defense is Super Bowl caliber. Even worse, the moves are starting to look disconnected. For example, if Flacco is your guy, why not surround him with explosive playmakers from the draft? Why go after a developmental quarterback like Sanders or Gabriel instead of someone who can stretch the field or dominate the slot? And let's be honest, Shedeur Sanders doesn't come without baggage. His college stardom and famous last name come with expectations, headlines, and as recent reports suggest, influence. If he truly did push for a roster cut, that's a bold and potentially divisive move for a rookie who hasn't taken a professional snap. The coaching staff is in a tight spot too. Head coach Kevin Stefanski has his back against the wall. With Garrett recommitted, Flacco proving he can win, and a defense that's built to suffocate opponents, the pressure is all on the offense to match that intensity. Any misstep, especially early in the season, and fans, media, and even players may start questioning the direction of the team. And let's not forget about the numbers. The Browns are heading into the season with the lowest projected win total in the league, 5.5. Vegas isn't buying into this roster, and that's a red flag. It suggests a lack of faith not just in the talent, but in the consistency and planning. For a team that just paid out $160 million to its defensive cornerstone, that's a brutal juxtaposition. Garrett didn't stick around for mediocrity. He stayed to chase something bigger, and right now, the offense looks like it might waste his prime years. In the receiver room, time is running out for David Bell. Once heralded for his production at Purdue, Bell just hasn't been able to transition that success into the pros. 3 seasons, just over 400 yards, and a string of injuries have left him fighting for his job. According to Tony Camino, it could come down to Bell or Michael Woods. Both failed to live up to their draft potential. It's a sobering reality that the Browns may enter week 1 with 2 rookies, a declining veteran who admits he checked out last season, and a star who's never truly had to be WR1. So here we are, a defense ready for war, a quarterback competition that could split the locker room, a receiver group that might not survive contact with reality, and a franchise still haunted by decades of missteps, now trying to piece together a competitive roster from conflicting parts. The fans deserve answers. They deserve clarity. Because right now, the Cleveland Browns look like a team split between 2 timelines, one trying to win now, and the other trying to build for tomorrow. That tension is what makes this story so compelling, so high stakes. Every training camp rep, every preseason snap, and every decision in the front office will matter. Now it's your turn, Browns Nation. If you stuck with us this far, hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth Browns coverage. Who do you think should be the starting QB? Can Jerry Jeudy carry this receiving core, or should the front office make a move before it's too late? Drop your takes in the comments. We're reading them all. Let's ride this season together. Go Browns!